Hi, welcome to Move. My name is Claire, and today we're going to be working on a full body stretch. So if you've just had a workout, done some strength training, or you've had a cardiovascular workout, what we're going to do will be fantastic. So let's get started. Our upper body would be the chest and the back and the arms. So in this session, we're going to be stretching all those muscles. We're going to start down with the lower body. First muscle we're going to stretch will be our calves. So bring yourself down onto your knees. You're going to place one foot on the floor, flat beside the other knee, and then just rock yourself forward. So the sensation that we're looking for is to stretch down the back of the calf. If you want to increase the stretch a little bit, see where my hand is, I can just press on my knee and increase that stretch sensation down the back of the calf. So this is a great stretching series to do after you've had a really good workout. It's the best time to stretch your body. Stretching when you're warm, really useful. Sometimes we get a little bit busy and we forget to have a stretch, so you could even do this series when you haven't had a workout if you want to. Good, let's change sides. So we like to hold our stretches for usually around 30 seconds. Sometimes can be just a little bit less than that as well. So you're going to tuck that foot behind the knee, bring your body weight, and then gently press forward, feeling that beautiful stretch down the back of the ankle. So we've had that really good stretch down the back of the calf. So now we're ready to move on a little bit. Shift yourself forward, bring yourself into a seated position, stretching into our glutes. So these are big muscles at the back of your body. So you can cross any leg you like, one in front of the other. And if you're kind of tight in your glutes, you might find just sitting up like this is enough to give you a stretch. That's okay. But if you'd like to stretch a little bit more, you can press your body weight forward. Hands can be in front or hands can be behind. So we're now stretching these really large muscles at the back of your butt. So if you've done squats or maybe you've run up some hills today, this is a good area of the body to focus on stretching. Once again, we're going to hold this for about 20 or 30 seconds. So take some breaths. The body likes to stretch on the out breath, so just be aware of that. So you take an inhale, and then as you breathe out, relax the area that you feel tension in. Take one more breath in. Try and relax your upper body just a little bit more. Good. And then bring yourself up. So whatever leg you had crossed in front, I want you to change. So you put the other one in front. And by doing that, you're just changing a little bit where your hips are. You're changing how the thigh bone comes out of the hips, and you influence the stretch you feel. So once again, you might find sitting up is the best place for you. But if you want to walk your hands forward and come into a little bit of a forward bend as well, you can. So our focus right now is stretching into our butt. Some of you though might also feel a little bit in the back. That's okay as long as it's not painful. So just remember to breathe. You exhale, relax. Good. Lengthen your in-breath a little bit. And things to think about when you're stretching is to try and be warm. So even if you don't have a full workout, try 5 minutes walking on the treadmill or 5 minutes riding the bike. Just a little bit of a gentle sweat is always more effective if you want to stretch for flexibility. And then gently release. Fantastic. Spin yourself long ways on your mat. We're going to lie down right now. So we've stretched our calves, we've stretched our butt. Now we're going to focus on the muscles in the upper thigh. First one we're going to stretch is the hamstring. So just hold on to the back of your thigh. Gently extend your leg in the air. And with the other one, you might find it comfortable to press it out on the floor. It may not work that way. See what feels good for you. Good, and then breathe. Relax your ankle. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just gently tug that leg back. So good range of movement is about 90 degrees where I am now. If your leg goes all the way back, you may not need to stretch too much. If you can't get your leg to 90 degrees, hold on with a towel can be useful or a strap. But we do know that if you can have about 90 degrees on your hamstring, you're less likely to get injured. And it's good to know that. So if you're a runner, great stretch. If you've done some weight training, this is a great stretch. So the hamstring we're stretching is made up of 3 muscles in the back of your leg. And we're going to change where our leg position is right now, and that will change where you feel the stretch. So your leg that's in the air, I'd like you to take it very slightly across the body and then work it up toward the opposite shoulder. Yeah, you might feel a bit of a tightness happening on the outside of the thigh. That's okay. You might even need to bend that airborne knee a little bit more. That's okay too. Or you might be flexible enough that you can hold onto the top of that shin bone and pull it across just a little bit. Good. And then we just hold that. So take some breaths. Relax as you breathe out. So good. Just let your muscles stretch. And then very gently release. Good. Let that leg go back down on the ground and just notice what you've done to the side that you've stretched. That leg should feel softer, heavier, a bit looser. Good. Let's try the other side. So bring the other leg in. Hold on the back of the thigh. Gently extend your leg and then breathe. So does this side go to 90 degrees maybe? And as I was saying, if you can't reach it with your hand, grab a strap, grab a towel, and just allow that to soften. So your muscle at the back of the thigh, when you work out, your muscles get tighter. That's what happens in the workout. They contract and they shorten. So at the end of the workout, what we're doing right now is we're really just trying to return the muscles to their resting length. So if you have muscles that are super short, you need to stretch more than just at the end of the workout. So any of these stretches that you like, it's a good idea to take them, do them at home, 2 or 3 times a day if you're really tight. And then just like we did on the other side, we're going to take that leg ever so slightly across the body, just enough. So you want to get a sense of those 3 muscles and you're pulling it across. Good. So the body has all those muscles wrapping in different ways, so you can move your leg in different ways. If you think about that, there's so many ways that we move. So it's really a good idea to stretch in lots of different positions as well. Good. So we've been holding that for a good 30 seconds now. So you can just release that one back down. Good, extend that leg on the ground and just spend a moment and just notice, feeling the difference. And after you stretch, it's a good idea sometimes just to be still for a moment, just before you get up. You don't want to return just straight back to that tense state again. So our next muscle we're going to stretch will be the big, strong muscle at the front of the thigh. It's called your quad muscle. We're going to do this in 2 different ways. The first way we're going to do this, I'm going to come onto our side. See my bottom leg? I pull it up and I make a right angle with my chest. With my other arm, I'm going to hold on to the top leg and fold the knee joint. Good. And the quad muscle is this really big, strong, powerful muscle, and it moves down the front of your thigh. So holding on, and I'm pulling that heel in. It should feel good. It's a good stretch, your quads. And if you do a lot of squats, sometimes we find that our quads burn out more than our glutes. You might need to give them a little bit extra attention, make them relax. So we're stretching our quads, and the quad goes right across the knee. So be aware of what's going on in your knee right now. It should feel good. If there's any tension in your knee, change the angle. That's it. And if your leg's up a little bit high, pull it down. See how mine's horizontal? So that's what you're trying to achieve. The back heel, if it can hit your butt, that's good. If it's a long way away from your butt, it might mean that's just a little bit tight. You want to, over time, get your heel onto your backside. Good. And then release that leg. Give it a little shake, release the knee. How does the knee feel? Tricep, changing sides. So same thing, I bend my bottom leg up, and the reason I pull my bottom leg up is just to kind of control the pelvis. So when we're stretching through our quads, sometimes our back arches. So this is a nice, safe way of stretching. Hold on to the top leg, pull the heel into your butt, and then point the knee away. Good. So the quad muscle, big muscle. And you think about the size of your upper thigh, it's really large. Got this great big muscle here, and then it folds right over the knee. When it folds over the knee, it goes into this tiny little tendon. So that's why when you pull the heel in, you want to make sure you're pulling it in straight. So if your knee's flicking, pull that heel right to the center of your butt. Lovely. You can squeeze your butt muscle. You can point the knee away as if you've got a shoe on it. Yeah, it feels good. It's always good to stretch a great big muscle. Fantastic. And then release. Now I did say we're going to do 2 stretches for the quads. So the second one, if you've got a mat, recommend that you just pick the mat up and you fold it like that, yeah? So now I've made just a little pillow. If your knees are sensitive, you can just do that same one again. But it's always good to have variety. So pop your knee on that nice soft mat and take a step forward with the other leg. So the hip flexor and the quad muscle at the front of the thigh, they work together. So tuck your tailbone under and just press forward. We're going to start off by stretching into the hip flexor. So think about this front thigh muscle, a separate one up the top, and then this big one that goes down the bottom. So take your belly button, spin it to the front, and then just breathe as you press the hip forward. Good. So once again, we'll hold this for about 30 seconds, letting that muscle lengthen. And if you're really sensitive, sometimes you can actually feel that muscle lengthening. You just feel it, let go. That's good. And then gently press back up. So the second quad stretch. If you feel a bit wobbly, feel free to hang on to a chair or do this one against the wall. But I'm going to pick my back foot up and pull it in toward my butt. So my knee is now closing down, yeah? There should be no knee pain. I'm not sitting backward, so I'm not sitting on my little kneecap. Watch what I'm doing here. I'm actually going to roll forward. So I'm off the front of that kneecap. Keep tucking under the tailbone, and I'm just going to turn my body back around because that's a much nicer angle to hold my thigh bone. Yeah? So take a breath in, and then just gently pull that heel towards your butt. I'm fairly flexible in my quads, so you might find that your leg's back there. That's okay too. You don't have to touch your backside on this one. Good, we're holding it once again for about 30 seconds. Lovely. This is a good stretch too because it makes you work your core a little bit so you don't wobble too much. Always good to have some stability. We've got some great videos as well about stability, so I recommend that you watch some of the others. You might start off just with the stretching ones, and then eventually there's a whole series of wonderful exercises that you can follow. Good, and then release. So changing sides. Make a little pad for your knee, take a big step forward, tuck your tailbone under, and we just started by releasing the hip flexor muscle. So you can place your hands on your front thigh, and then as you exhale, drop forward. And once again, remember, position yourself so maybe you can see me, but you can also check that you've got your pelvis facing forward. The hip flexor muscle, big strong muscle. As you breathe out, let everything soften. Good. Breathe in, and then gently breathe out. Good, so we're going to be picking up that back leg again. So as I was saying before, make sure you're not sitting on the kneecap. So rock your way forward, pick up your back foot, and pull it in towards your heel. You might want to come up a little bit taller, or you might press forward a little bit, that's okay. When you fold the back knee, it's like a door hinge. You want to make sure it shuts down evenly. So there's no twisting or moving around of that back thigh. When you think about knee health, there's not a lot we can do in terms of stretching apart from this position right now because the knee is only a hinge. Some of the other joints we can rotate and do lots of other movements, but with your knee, it only does one thing, open and close. You just hold that for a couple more breaths. So working our way through the whole body. We've done our calves, our hamstrings, our hip flexors and our quads, and one stretch for our glutes, but we'll cover those again. And then very gently release. Good, untuck yourself, maybe stretch your mat back out again, and then just press yourself back into what's called pose of the child. So wiggle your tailbone back, walk your arms forward, take a breath in, and then just rest down. Good, and breathe there. So that's a really nice position just to breathe in. So the whole of your back body is being folded over. So see if you can get a sense of length from your pelvis, up through the sides of your spine, right up to your shoulder blades, and then a gentle lengthen through the neck as well. So I recommend that you do this stretching series after you've done weight training as well. And a good full body strength session is such a good workout to have. You can split your program and do legs one day and upper body the next. But if you don't have a lot of time, full body is the way to go. So a full body stretch, just as useful. So slide yourself up. We're going to start working our way up through the upper body a little bit. Chest is where we're going to start. So just walk one arm forward, and it's like you're bowing down. So you're just going to lie down the whole arm toward the ground. Let your forehead drop as far as you can, or as far as is comfortable. And if you have a look at my spine, you'll see that I've got a long back. So if you're really rounding up through your back, try and lengthen it as you press yourself forward. Let your forehead rest to the ground. Take some breaths there. Notice the tension in your body. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. And if there was a scale of intensity for stretching, where 9 or 10 was tearing your muscle and 1 you can't feel anything, we're really only on about a 4 or 5. You don't have to stretch super deeply to get a good effective stretch. And then release yourself up. Take the other arm forward. Walk your arm, and then just gently stretch down through that side. Good. Now if you've done weight training, do you do all your strength training with 2 arms at once, or do you sometimes do single arm work? Doing single sides, such a good way of assessing your strength balance. And what we're doing now is stretching in single sides, so that's a great way of seeing whether you're in balance. Like, are you a righty or are you a lefty when it comes to flexibility? So once again, be aware that the spine, it's super long. And you gently open up under the armpit. So the muscles we're focusing on now, your chest, but for some of you, you'll feel it through the bicep, and the bicep is that muscle in the front of the upper arm. So take a nice inhale and gently relax as you exhale. Good. Do that one more time. And then gently walk yourself back up. So the whole body is starting to feel good. Bring yourself into a kneeling position right now. Or if you want to, you can sit back on your heels. Good. Reach your arms up super high and then lengthen. Good. So we're really trying to get as much space as we can from the bottom rib bone right down to the hips. Now you can stay pressing. If you want to watch my arm, little variation. I can hold onto that wrist and pull. Yeah, good. If you've done lat pull down in the gym, this is great. You want to create as much length as you can, even as those muscles get longer. Lovely. Change sides. Once again, just noticing how you feel as you change sides, being really aware of entering into the stretches slowly and gradually. Just easing yourself into a stretch. Full side body stretch. And so great that you've managed to give yourself 30 minutes to have a stretch. Your body's going to feel amazing at the end. And then release. Good. So take your hands behind your body, punch your fists down, 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 down. And then lift your collarbones. So we're now focusing on the chest. And the chest and the neck muscles work together. So if you watch me, I'm punching my fist down, and I'm going to lengthen my neck and watch where my ear goes. I just drop it gently to one side. So my upper traps, if you've done shoulder press, if you've done push-ups, those upper traps get tight. Come back to the center, and then gently let the chin drop the other side. So you're trying to push down just as much effort as you're lifting up, and then gently tilt the head. Release. Lovely. So we've opened up the back, we've opened up the chest. Let's work a little bit more through our arms. Tricep stretch. So we're going to do 2 ways for this one today. We're going to bend that elbow, take it across the body. See, I'm bending my elbow, so I'm pulling a little bit on my tricep, and then I pull it across. Good, you can just relax that hand that you're stretching. And you'll notice that I'm pulling my arm over and I'm closing down on the inside here. You don't want to feel pain in there. So always be aware if you get any sensation of squash pain, like it's getting tight inside, that sometimes means that the joint's not in its best alignment. Good, and then the same arm, you're going to flick it up over your head to come into a tricep stretch. So I'm going to turn around and you can see my back hand. I'm just gently working it down my back and I'm pulling the elbow across and then I lift my head back up. So everything we're doing with good posture. If that's not enough of a stretch, you can also add a little tip to the side. Your triceps are going to love you after this. And then very gently release. Good, and just feel what you've done from one side to the other. So one side should be kind of like longer. It's like you've got a longer, looser arm. Let's try the other side. So we start with the bent elbow, hand goes on the back of it, and then pull it across. Good. Focus outside of shoulder. So if you are feeling any tension right through the inside here, you can push the elbow out as you take it across. Good. Tricep stretch. Triceps get worked in your pushing movements. So your lats get worked when you pull and your triceps get worked when you push. So your push-ups and your bench press, your shoulder press, even things like your plank and your hover. And then bring that arm, flick it up and over and take it behind. Good, so now you're stretching into your tricep and I'll just come sideways this time. I won't turn all the way around, but just to draw attention to my head, I really want to lift my chin up and away. And as I lift my chin up and away, let's make sure that we're not making this great big arch in the back. So even when we're stretching, we want to have good alignment. If you want to take a little tip to one side, you can. So working our way through the body, we've done calves, we've done hamstrings, hip flexors and quads. We've done through your upper back, your lats, triceps, and then gently release. So from here, watch my hands. We're going to take our palms to the floor and we're just going to gently pull back. So this is for your wrist, your forearms, your hands. So after weight training, when you grip the weights and the dumbbells and the cables really hard, we get a lot of tension through our forearms. And even if you haven't, if you've been sitting at a desk, if you've been typing, using the keyboard, and just about every job now we have involves keyboard. So as well as feeling that beautiful stretch right up through the front of your arm here, get a little bit in the bicep as well. Good. Only feel the stretch in the muscle, not inside the joint. And then gently release from there. We're going to bring ourselves back onto the ground. So we're going to finish with, as I was saying before, one more glute stretch, but we've also got a back stretch to have. So cross one ankle over the top of the other thigh, and your foot that's in the air, you're going to take it down to the ground and then bring your hand on top of that knee and gently press it and feel that side glute muscle having a good stretch right now. This is also waking up a little bit into twisting. So see how I'm shuffling my shoulders, and if you want to make little micro movements, you can just kind of flatten that upper back out just a little bit. Good, and then breathe there. Your butt muscle, largest muscle, needs a good strong stretch. And breathe. And then slowly release. So we'll do the same thing to the other side. So cross your ankle over, and that foot that's in the air, that's the way you go. Good, and then bring the hand, press it on, and then gently press that thigh bone. So the biggest muscles all around the glutes, that's what we want to focus on right now. So if you've done a step class maybe, or a spin class, or a cycle class, they're the classes that focus a lot through your glutes and your butt. And if you've done some squats and lunges in the gym, this is a good one to do. And then gently release back. Good. Just coming into a final last little back twist. Let it rest to one side. Try and relax your body. Start to slow down your movements now. Slow down your breath. It's always nice at the end to start slowing everything down. and then gently roll through the center. So we've stretched our calves, hamstrings of the lower body, and then we've stretched our quads and glutes of the upper leg. We've stretched our glutes in the butt, hip flexors, lats, arms, shoulders. Done a great job. So your very last stretch is just to come back onto your back, a little bit for the inner thigh. I'll bring the feet together and just let your knees drop wide. Good. Just let your arms rest there, and you can just stay here for a while and let your body relax there. So each one of our little stretching sequences is designed to focus on something a little bit different. So today's stretching sequence is a full body stretch. Great to do after a strength training workout, great to do after you've gone for a run as well. So hopefully you'll watch some of our other videos and you'll have a fantastic stretching session with us again. Thank you for watching.